So this article is from Us Weekly, or as I say, US Weekly. I've always said that. This is Amanda Bynes files to end conservatorship after nearly 9 years. Now, Amanda Bynes is a blast from the past. You mentioned she was in, what was it?
All That.
In
Nickelodeon.
That was a Nickelodeon. I remember her from the underrated Frankie Muniz hit movie. Well, not hit movie. Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti. And yes.
I think I saw it.
Yes, it was fantastic. The guy, like, he steals a script that Frankie Muniz writes. Like, he steals, like, he's like a big time movie producer. And then he steals a story he had to write for class. Now, the character of Frankie Muniz, like, lies all the time in the movie. And the name of the story is, like, Big Fat Liar, and then this guy turns it into like a Hollywood blockbuster movie, and the whole movie is about him going to Hollywood to prove that that this guy stole the script from him.
I think that's like the first movie I saw without any adults. I just went with my best friend at the time, Jonathan, and like
there you go.
I saw Frankie Muniz.
Yeah, and she plays his friend. I assume too young to be romantic interest in that movie. Also has a very fantastic cameo from Jaleel White, who played Urkel.
She did?
Yes.
No, that movie had a fantastic cameo from
like,
Jaleel White, who played
Amanda
Urkel.
Bynes played Urkel? Gotta watch that.
That would be
right? That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty spicy, yes. So this is Amanda Bynes files to end conservatorship after nearly 9 years. According to courtroom documents obtained by Us Weekly, Amanda Bynes, psychiatrist notes, noted that his patient has, quote, no apparent impairment in alertness and attention, information and processing, or ability to modulate mood and affect, and suffers no thought disorder. So I believe from what I read when I was researching this, she was diagnosed as bipolar several years ago. What?
Most celebrities who troublesome, they diagnose them as bipolar.
Well, I mean,
do you think that's what happens with her? Because she was, in my lifetime, she was the first celebrity to like go off the edge.
Yeah, like,
and
Britney Spears would have been before your time as an adult.
No,
so.
she went a little nutso before Britney.
Oh, did she? I don't know about that.
No, I think so.
Miracle, do some research. Who we shouldn't say nutso. That seems rude.
My bad. That's what I'm sorry.
She had her issues, but you think she had her issues before?
In terms of the marketing that was used,
yes,
for her, I should clarify. I don't personally think she's a nutso, but like. The market that was used, like Amanda Bynes is off the rails, like kind of things like that, you know? Like she was the first one that I saw it. I was like, damn, this is like little wholesome Amanda Bynes. She's on all these like, I wish I had like a Knight in Shining Armor boyfriend movies, plus like all that and Nickelodeon. For me, like in my head, way back then, she like, the brand of all these things was so pristine, and to like see her like really have like a rough spot, and like
especially given like entering adulthood when you come from being a child star,
right?
Like Britney Spears was like a teen icon.
She's also a child star. She was like the Mickey Mouse Club,
but people most notably knew her for her work as an adult singer, as a young adult singer.
A lot of people that were a bit older than us remembered her from both.
See, I don't remember her from Mickey Mouse Club. I mean, I knew of it, but I just
have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
I have seen it. Okay. Justin Timberlake's on it, and like a couple of people.
I know that it's an infamous group of like celebrities that ended up becoming really well known.
Yeah. I can't find it, but they do also list Lindsay Lohan on this. Child stars that have fallen.
Yes. So the former Nickelodeon star, 35, requested to terminate the conservatorship of both her person and estate on Wednesday, February 23rd. Bynes also filed a capacity declaration at the Ventura County Superior Court, as all conservatorship cases require updated health records about the conservatee's mental state. The All That alum, there you go. The All That alum was first placed under a temporary conservatorship in August of 2013 amid an accumulation of mental health and substance abuse issues. See, this is why I remember it so clearly. At that time, I was working for a medical supply company, driving medical equipment and meds to hospitals and private residences, people who could afford like in-home care. So I listened to a lot of like radio about that had celebrity news at the time, just because.
Really?
Yeah, like it wasn't my thing, but it was like you're on the road 12 hours a day, you're going to end up, you can only listen to the same playlist, the same playlist so many times.
Right.
And I didn't have, it was 2013. I didn't actually have like a good, it's not like I could listen to Pandora all day at work. So I just remember this case being a big deal at that time. So when you think about how long ago that was, and remember, like I've been pretty open about the struggles that I've had, so that like that makes it feel even longer when I think about what I've been through in that time frame. And she's still going through it, as far as legalities.
Before we go any further, I'd like to say, Miracle, I think she's cute. Any problems with that?
New one or old one?
Ouch.
Incredible.
That was, I mean, to be fair, I haven't looked at any of the newer pictures.
Because I did find it. They said, did Britney Spears follow in Amanda Bynes' footsteps?
Oh, what did they say?
Basically, I think they're saying that Amanda Bynes was the first one to fall
Okay,
off the
so Dane,
bandwagon.
this is why we paid Dane the big bucks.
Yay. Instead of ye, Amanda Bynes.
Because
it,
they
y'all.
said,
We're gonna hire you as our fact checker.
They said Amanda retired from acting from 2010. But then the whole shaving the
It
head.
was like 2007.
Yes.
Okay.
But Amanda, she also, during that time, she was walking around with weird wigs.
Well, wigs are in now.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I
she was losing it for a little while.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, like, she was like the first person that was losing it. Britney was still like having songs, and then after Britney, Hannah Montana, and then like whoever.
Miley Cyrus. Her real name is Miley Cyrus.
Oh, my bad. I just know her Hannah Montana because I have a little sister.
Hannah Montana.
I have a little
Yeah, but
sister.
I'm
And she
saying
used
it,
to
but-
watch the show. It was her favorite show. And
show.
I guess my next guess is Billie Eilish. She'll lose her mind eventually.
We will see.
You heard it here first.
No,
That's quite a prediction,
wait.
Dane.
For sure.
Who first? Taylor Swift or Billie Eilish?
No, Billie Eilish. Taylor Swift would have already lost it. She's like our age.
Yeah.
Well, did you hear the news that she got engaged?
I mean, to soon be a divorce, I'm sure.
Yes,
Like,
Yeah.
all her career's about
We'll
divorce.
see how that goes. We'll keep an eye
Sure.
on that.
Uh-huh.
The Easy A star took to social media to reflect on how she was adjusting, writing via Instagram in June 2018. My dearest fans, thank you all for the support throughout the year and every year. I know I've been so quiet lately. I just felt I needed my personal space and that it'd be better for me, but it never was. Just know you're my happiness. Like that's is she also honest about struggling with her mental health throughout the years? Like she definitely went through it in public. Like this is why I would never want to be famous or a celebrity or known in any regard. It's like I've had my own struggles in my lifetime, and I was blessed enough to go through all of those struggles privately. I wouldn't ever want to have to go through all of this, under the watchful eye of like a bunch of people, half of whom love you in a creepy way, the other half who despise you for no reason and just want to see you fall. So it says, the California native has been enrolled and graduated from the Fashion Institute Design and Merchandising in February of 2020. That's a good way to spend the pandemic. Get a degree. Hell yeah. Amanda announced that she was engaged to Paul Michael, I almost called him Mitchell, after they met at an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. That is considered a no-no.
Yeah, you just like ratted him out. It's anonymous.
That's well, they've likely agreed to this ahead of time that they
Sure,
would.
but, like, you're not supposed to.
That's like when you're not supposed to date within the program. That's considered.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
Is that a no-no because of conflict with interest?
It's just you tend to be bad for. You can be very enabling, especially if you go to the same meetings. Like it's even worse. Like it's not like they're saying like he was her sponsor or something. That would be a gross.
I'm sure that happens a lot.
Yeah, it's not supposed to, but
Because
when you're getting
they depend
clean,
on each other so much.
when you're getting clean, emotions run very high, and you're much more susceptible to stuff like that. So. I just want to go over to this other article, which highlights the differences in this, and this is from page 6. It says, Amanda Bynes' parents support her conservatorship ending. So this is a very different situation from what happened with Britney Spears, who had a very contentious and almost combative relationship with her father in relation to that whole situation. But here it says, Amanda Bynes moves to end her conservatorship is fully supported by her parents and is not been set in motion because of the Britney Spears case. So naturally, the question for a lot of people would be, was all the hoopla around Britney Spears' conservatorship, would that play a role in all of this happening? And they're saying that it's not.
And mentally, she sounds good.
Yes. I mean, if she is bipolar, she's on meds, she's working a program. There's no reason that she can't, run her own life. For celebrities, it's always more of a question because they have so much. They tend to have money, and when you're under conservatorship, that can be very lucrative for people who are controlling your funds. It can be very bad. So you're very easy. I mean, money managers take advantage of perfectly capable adults, let alone people who aren't in control of all their faculties.
So it seems like she had like a better inner circle around her.
Yes. So it says the former Nickelodeon star's attorney, David A. Asquebius, it's an amazing last name, told TMZ that ending Bynes' conservatorship has been in the works for years. The attorney also emphasized a glaring difference between his client and Spears. Bynes has always maintained a close and loving relationship with her parents, unlike Spears, who said her family should all be in jail for their roles in the almost 14-year-long conservatorship. Earlier this week, Page Six exclusively reported that the EZA star requested to terminate the conservatorship at the Ventura County Superior Court, and says she was 2013 when she was placed under conservatorship. If she is bipolar, likely if she was using substances at that time, that exacerbates it
For sure.
Heavily. It makes it 1,000 times worse.
For sure.
And that it makes it when you're like that, you're very volatile. It makes you very hard for you to see reason and go seek help. Not even just for the drugs, but to get your your condition under control.
Can I tell you something? I'm really interested in this Britney Spears book.
Yeah,
The one
like
that
when
she's-
it's coming out.
It's going to be a while.
I'm really interested in that book, and I hope Amanda Bynes has one too.
Yep.
Because I knew conservatorships existed, but I didn't really know about them until like we started discussing them, and like Britney Spears's conservatorship like came in the limelight. I really want to know like the differences between like these two girls, and
Especially
like how it
because
went.
Spears kept working the whole time. She was working in Vegas.
They were like grinding her out.
Yeah, like they were basically using her. Here it seems like her parents really wanted to help her, and it was done as like a temporary measure. And they say right here, it says, Bynes' lawyer stressed that the conservatorship was always envisioned to be a temporary measure, not a lifetime sentence. And in the last couple of years, she and her parents have realized the significant progress that she has made dealing with her bipolar disorder.
And Britney's thing seems like on her end, she also like wants a little revenge.
Yes, which
Like
can
the
be bad for her long term.
Of course, but like and for her own like mental health. You know?
Yes.
Because like the first thing she did was like get naked and like,
Dwelling is not healing. Healing is different than revenge. And healing oftentimes exercising forgiveness, where it doesn't mean you have to spend time with them again. It doesn't mean you have to welcome them back into your life. But forgiveness goes a long way in coming through stuff like this.
I think she's been through a lot, and like if you think about it, like going back to the beginning of the episode, she was like in the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yep.
Then she was like a preteen celeb, and then like a teen celeb. Like so, she's been through it all, man.
Yep.
So
I wouldn't want to go through. Like I said, I would have all the money in the world wouldn't have made me want to be a child star.
Then they made her sister a celebrity. Like it's so much with that family.
Yep. And it says right here, the former child actress is said to be focused on fashion and even developing a fragrance, and has said nothing about wanting to return to acting. Somebody like her, this really is in the age we live in now. To have the pedigree that somebody like this had growing up, just a name that recognizable, that someone like me, who is not exactly the target demographic for Bynes' shows when she was growing up, but still knows who she is because of her fame, they can make a living on, not social media, but they don't need movies anymore to make a living.
You were the target demographic when we were growing up. It was kids.
I mean, I felt like I was past that already. Maybe not. I mean, I was never a Nickelodeon guy. Maybe that's why.
We get it. You're more mature than your age.
No, I just didn't have cable. We didn't have cable in my household. So, but you know, by the time she was going through all her struggles, I mean, I was well outside that portion there. So I do wonder about the getting engaged to somebody who she met in an AA meeting. But like I said, that's just we only know the bare bones of this situation. I'm not going to pass judgment on that. That's it's not for me to do. But hopefully, if they're doing well and if they're both in the program and they don't go to the same meetings, and maybe she has a sponsor and he has a different sponsor, as long as they're not co-sponsor, as long as he's not sponsoring her and there's like a weird power dynamic thing going on, I'm not saying that can't work. Definitely people who share histories of addiction find common ground there, as long as they're not bad for each other. You know,
Yeah, the same wavelength.
Yes. So we will see where that goes. It should be interesting. I mean, I can imagine she would end up getting maybe not the same size book deal, but she could end up having a very powerful story to tell about what it's like to go through it, even with the support of your family and friends.
Yeah, I'm actually super interested in reading about it.
There's still going to be, I mean, she still would have had to deal with all the people talking crap about her weird behavior or, when she was acting out. So I can't imagine what that was like to go through, but we'll see. I hope, I wish her the best.
Same.
That is what we hope for.
We all hope for the best, but at least to change the subject. Do you
Both of them, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Could we remember the pauses from their life, moving forward?
Yeah,
I
sure.
hope. That's why.
Well, she's still young. I mean, she could still make plenty of a
She's
mark.
35.
Yeah, that's still pretty young.
I know.
I mean, not for a
Little
celebrity.
miracle jab there.
I'm saying, but for somebody who wants to, if she wants to do something that's not in front of the camera, she can still make plenty of a wave, like a wave in Hollywood and such. So
Yeah,
there's
that's
nothing
true.
better than a comeback story.
yep.
That's true.
It's everybody loves a comeback
For sure.
In fact, it's one of the things I hate about Hollywood is they don't seem to like redemption arcs that much anymore, and I believe wholeheartedly in redemption. I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
Right. Interesting.
We will see. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.